Hello guys and welcome back to Watching Time. It's been a while for the ones of you that actually follow the channel that I have posted a video. Personal life happens. This is not my work, obviously, and I enjoy doing videos in my own spare time to share with you guys my passion, which is watch collecting. Obviously, sometimes things happen and you need to concentrate on other things rather than just posting videos. So sorry for the delay. If you want to see it into that way, I know some of you enjoy and follow us. So please, we're coming back, obviously, with new videos, a lot of watches that we haven't reviewed yet because due to the lack of time, obviously, if I wanted to do a review every day, probably I still could do until the end of the year and have a new watch to talk about. Many things have happened in the watch industry world in this period, and we are now in 2025. Obviously, I feel, but maybe it's my perception, that in life we have up and downs in terms of also of our hobbies, our interests, and the watches that we like, but most particularly also the taste of what we usually wear. Because yes, they are time-keeping pieces that have history behind, that have a movement that can passionate many of us, but they are also fashion items. So with time, our fashion tastes tend to change. Sometimes for once you would like a case that is big. Sometimes you would like to wear a smaller case. Sometimes you want to go back to the roots. And history in watches in terms of sizes and shapes has definitely an start and an end that it's quite different, because most people, when they think about vintage watches, like the one inspired that I have in front, and we're going to talk a little bit obviously on this for sure, you tend to think about smaller sizes. Actually, this is in fact a 36 millimeters. So you tend to go back to roots thinking that vintage tend to be smaller size. But in reality, what we usually don't think about is that watches, also due to technology, were actually born from pocket watches. Wristwatch was something that happened after, later on in time. And pocket watches could not, also due to the technology at the time, be small, sorry. So they were actually quite big, really big. So just as a reminder of ourselves, the first wristwatches were based on pocket watches, and those were huge watches. So vintage inspired sizes are not really the term I would use, but probably period inspired sizes. And this is the 50s, 60s, in which 36, 38 millimeters was kind of the thing that was going on a lot. So let's talk about this piece because I find it really interesting. Personally, I tend to use bigger watch sizes. So when you look for watches in my collection, you will see 40 millimeters, 42, being 40 probably the perfect size for me. And I have an 18.5 millimeters wrist, which is kind of a medium into the bigger size, take or give. So lower than that, for me, it's quite difficult. And 36 has been usually a measurement that I have struggled with. Said that, my tastes have also changed in time. And the way I see my own wrist, because at the end of the day, it's a perception, has changed. So nowadays, I am much more comfortable with a 36 millimeters watch. And this piece is probably one of those that actually reminds me of that. So this is a collaboration between Zodiac and not only Zodiac, because it was done with Craft+Tailored. They are based in LA. Actually, I was there during, it was October. I was in LA for a business trip, and I was able to grab one of their watches. These were only done in a very limited series, 100 pieces, while the black version that you can see here on my cell phone was done for 400 pieces. So, but the whole line, this original, let's say, origin-inspired watch, was actually done in collaboration between Craft+Tailored and Zodiac. For me, this is an important step on Zodiac, and I really hope that they reprise going back to the archives, going back to their history. They have had, in my personal opinion, a down during the last 2 years. Some interesting pieces now and then, but really, just changing colors or materials at the end of the day doesn't really work in the long run. So they need to get their game back together, and probably this is a good start to get back into that road. So I found it quite interesting, and I like the idea of having this 36 millimeters watch. And if I had to have one of those between the black and this white, cream, and golden version, I rather had the 100 limited edition. And it definitely changes completely the perspective of the watch. The black one seems more like a tool watch. Actually, when you see it live, you even have the riveted bracelet that you don't have here. This is not riveted, so this is a bracelet specifically done for this watch. But most particular, this one, because of the color of the dial, tends to be more elegant and rather less casual, so it wears really vintage. And this collaboration also brought a lot of first things for Zodiac. When they tend to do collaborations, even when they have done some extravagant collaborations like colorways that were quite particular, even sneakers inspired colorways, they have just changed the colors of a mold that I already own. In this case, they have actually done everything anew. A new case, because this is a totally different 36 millimeters case, a first time use mechanical movement and not automatic due to the size also. A new strap, because this strap is not your usual 20 millimeter strap. Actually, it's smaller and has a size that definitely it's not your conventional. So a thickness of 12 millimeters. The case, as I was saying, is 36. So obviously, lug to lug, it's a little bit wider still. The bezel is bigger than the case. So this watch, due to the bezel size, will wear a little bit bigger than the 36. And because of the wide dial, I tend to see them obviously a little bit bigger than what you usually see on the darker color. Let's put it that way. So what else? The collaboration definitely had me also at a very interesting point, because the use of a mix markers and Roman numbers, sorry, Arabic numbers was quite interesting. And as you can see, the whole decoration is golden. I really like the details. The skeletonized also seconds hand that reminds you of the sea wolf. So most people will be asking themselves, so this watch, was this one of the archive watches? What was it based on? Was it based on, as you can see, the crown? Sometimes you will need to find the right fit to actually screw it down. So this is normally most watches until you actually find the point. There you go. So I'm just gonna wind it a little bit. Not being, and there it is. It has a 200 meters, obviously water resistant. And the thing that is quite interesting that I wanted to show, as I was saying, it has a very nice lume also on the markers and the dials. And it's a watch that comes obviously with this very limited number. 100 is a weird number for Zodiac. They tend to do their usual 80 something or more, like the black version, which is only 400 pieces available. So this goes back, as I was saying, to the roots, but not really a commercialized roots. So this is a picture of the first Zodiac Super Sea Wolves at the time. So this is the year of 1953, that they were prototyping in order for it to become their diver. The idea was dropped in order to go for the more simple Super Sea Wolf that we know and love, obviously. And this version was actually not commercialized and was not the one that actually went into competition directly with the Submariner and the Blank Pen at the time. So it's nice that they go back to the archives, the actual archives, and bring to life a piece that was there in concept, but not really in commercialization. So I find that really appealing and interesting. So what are your thoughts, guys, on this watch? I definitely love it. Just let me take this big Explorer and let's try our Zodiac. I don't think there are many reviews on these watches, also because of the limited number. It's quite weird to actually see it around. I have fitted strap for my wrist. I think it fits quite nicely, and the size, the 36 on my 18.5, as you can see, actually it looks bigger than what it really is. Still, it wears as a vintage watch. So please drop me any comments on the video. I really love hearing from you guys and having some opinions on what you think. Until the next video, please take care.